the mommies are back, baby.
We are back.
Sorry.
Two.
We were already out of it.
Let's do it again.
We are back.
Yeah.
Two cool moms.
Cool moms.
We are here.
We did it.
Stevie, welcome back.
Joe, the good
so
news
nice.
about this show is that we have production value.
Oh, look at this.
It's our first show back here at iHeartRadio. We got bubbles.
Boom, boom, boom.
Party.
I also feel like the bubbles are just making a mess of going
They're
to my
getting
water.
everywhere. Oh, Jesus Christ. They went from nothing to absolute mayhem.
Oh, could you?
This is going to be the cleanest table in all of...
Ever.
Welcome to Two Cool Moms. I'm your host, Steve Byrne, along with
Joe Gatto. I don't have a single.
For your single.
Joe Gatto. The bubble machine, we spent all the money on the bubble machine. This thing is too loud. We spent all the money on the bubble machine that I couldn't afford the third camera.
We had to celebrate.
I love it.
How
are you, buddy?
How are you?
Great. I'm fantastic.
You just came in.
Yes.
From...
I was down in Florida. I did a college show at the University of Southern Florida. Fantastic. Fantastic.
With a mutual friend of ours you met up with.
Yes, I met up with Colin Jost, and we had a good time. And our boy, Marcelo Hernandez.
By the way, two comedians, very gifted, with incredible hair.
Angers me.
It
angers me.
Colin's hair is
Colin's hair has always been just like perfection. Colin, you just look at him and it's not fair. But what Marcelo, like he does that thing where he shows off, he puts his hoodie up, and he has the hairs poking out. Like he's like, I got so much, I can't even tuck all the hair into this hood.
But then it's also like sometimes you see, I remember we did this show, I was on this show years ago called The Real Wedding Crashers. Okay, Wedding Crashers comes out. Then a TV show called The Real Wedding Crashers comes out, and it's Ashton Kutcher produced it. This is just after Punk'd. And what we would do is we would team up with people that are getting married, and we would basically pull pranks on their guests the whole weekend. And then the big reveal was at the wedding, they'd learn that we were not their best friends or the pastor or the dry cleaner. Like we were actually in on fun. The whole time. So we were doing the only reason I bring it up is I'll never forget this. Catherine Reitman, who's got a great show called Working Moms on Netflix, and then Desi Liddick, who's a correspondent on The Daily Show. There were the two girls on the show along with me and two other guys. And and I'll never forget this. They had this Justin Timberlake impersonator. This guy looked just like him.
Really?
And he was there as like a goof for their wedding. Like, we got Justin Timberlake to perform. So he shows up, and Catherine and Desi are head over heels, this guy. They're like, he is so hot. And I'm like, this is the fake one. And you're going nuts over him? And they were smitten with him. They're like, yeah, you should have lunch with us. Like, I mean, he just got there. And I'll never forget this. He had a backward hat on, and he's like, yeah, so they're going to lunch. And he took his hat off and like receding, like patchy, you know, not like even cool. Like it was just like, I'll just throw a hat on today.
Right.
It looked so bad. And Catherine just looked at me. She goes, ooh. So when Marcelo does that, there's always a reveal.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, because I got a big forehead.
I would love like a hat that just had the hair on, and you took it off, and the whole thing came off.
You ever see those Guy Fieri ones though?
Yeah,
they have the visors and that's hilarious.
Those are great. The visor is great because I used to rock a visor a lot.
You seem like a visor.
I am a visor, and I'll tell you why, because I don't like to mess my hair. Which makes no sense, I know. But I don't like to mess it. So I love the visor because I did the peekaboo. It peeks right through. You know,
right.
The garden is still playing around the fences. You know, get the cap on, it's, you know, it's a greenhouse. Nobody wants a greenhouse effect. Talk to the climate. Shout out climate change. But I'm saying, when you want...
These are fake.
Yeah.
These are not real.
Look at this lush... We have bamboo now because we're at iHeart
We got
Studios.
production value. You guys forget who you're dealing with. This is the Two Cool Moms. We got money.
Oh, we got
iHeart. Bubbles.
You bought this at Five Below for $4.99, and the bubbles were included.
They were, yes.
That's how much money we have. It's
flush
great.
with cash. But Marcelo Hernandez, then one of the nicest guys, but also incredibly,
very talented.
Just that mane of hair. He's got like skateboarder hair, like surfer hair, but he's Mexican.
Said extremely. I thought you were going to say talented because I think he's very funny.
Yeah.
And he is extremely good haired.
Well haired.
Well haired.
Colin is, I mean, his hair since day one, just like, come on, man.
Yeah. Now, would you ever go surfing with him?
No.
I was in Montauk. He's like, I'm just going to go for a quick surf. You want to come? First of all, no. But sure, I'll go down to the beach and I'll just sit and watch you surf.
And watch a Harvard 10?
No, he just goes down. He came out of the water like Baywatch doing this whole thing. He was like talking to me and doing this whole thing.
I guarantee you this, okay? Colin Jost is one of those guys, he just walks between the raindrops.
Yeah.
It's just like everything works out for the guy.
Yeah.
Just like Mr. Magoo. Remember, he just walked through traffic. You're like, how's a car not hitting this guy? He's so smooth. He works hard.
Yeah, for sure.
He's attained everything. But I guarantee there will be a shark attack. It won't be him. He'll save the person from the shark.
He'll save the shark.
He'll be...
The shark got bit by this kid. Let me save the shark. Yeah, that's what'll happen. It's crazy.
That's like Colin's luck. He'll just be in the right place at the right time, and something amazing will happen. And be like, of course.
Of course.
He's shredded, like good looking. I remember.
Is he shredded? I didn't look at his body as much as you see.
He's like a good. I went
You're
to his house.
He's got like a lot.
He's got the like an Equinox in his house.
Oh, yeah.
When you live with an Avenger, you're gonna be fit. And then
you can't be fat.
No,
I can never marry an Avenger.
Daniel Day Kim, you know him?
Yeah.
Hawaii Five-0, Lost.
Yep.
Handsome.
Yeah, of course.
Handsome guy. He invites me and my wife. We're visiting Hawaii. He invites. This is not like name drop central. I'm just bringing this up to make me. This is going to be a self-deprecating.
Good-looking people
In Hawaii, he invites my wife and my kids over to his place. We're like, of course. And then he's like, yeah, you guys want to go swimming? I'm like, yeah, let's go swimming. I take my shirt off. I have the body of a Vietnamese, like a 12-year-old Vietnamese with a beer gut. Like it's just like it's shapeless. There's like nipples, but it's just like what is? You played hockey? Like nothing, right? Daniel Day Kim takes off his shirt, and there should be sound effects. King, king, cat, king, pang, pang, king. It's just like it's
looks
all
painted
like
on. Yeah.
He looks like the Batman suit without the bat symbol. Like it was just like perfect. And I'm just like, Jess, should we just go, or like do you just want to stare?
She's like, no, I don't want to go. We're staying here. We're moving in. You can go. I'm gonna.
But it was one of those things. Like the guy took his shirt off. You're like, I want to see my parents. Like, how is that conceivable?
I just did this thing. So my daughter, like, I'm like, I have fun with my kids. I'm like a fun dad. We always be silly and whatnot. So my kids, we got this bouncy house like obstacle course thing off Amazon.
I don't see you in front of the fireplace with reading glasses on, like, silence,
quiet down,
Papa
children.
Papa is reading.
Papa's reading the Times.
Yeah, just pipe.
So we bought this like obstacle course thing where you run through. It's inflatable. It's a couple $100 on Amazon. The kids liked it. It was for Remo's birthday party. So we got it, and it has a slide at the end, and it's awesome. And Bessie put it at the end of the pool where we have a little bit of grass. So the kids are running through it, blah blah blah. And I see the slide at the end, and I'm like, I wonder if I could just turn it. And then the kids run through the obstacle course. I throw a hose on it, and they slide right into the deep end of the pool. I'm like, oh, that'd be really fun. So I'm looking at it, and I go, oh, this is really cool. And then as I'm about to say it, I turn, and here comes my daughter, 8-year-old daughter, comes running over. She goes, Dad, can we put the slide to go in the pool? I was like, you are me. You are exactly. Let's do it. So I do the whole slide, whatever. So then a couple of the moms were like, oh, is it safe? I was like, I'll go first.
Right.
So this is a blow-up obstacle course made for 8 to 10-year-olds.
The moms are just checking to make sure. Are we completely on cue with Obamacare? We have health insurance. Right. Okay, everybody's covered. Okay, good.
Let's do it. Yeah. So I took a float and I put it on the bottom like to make this little padding in case it didn't work out. I go. You
do the obstacle course.
I do the little obstacle course.
By the way, I would love to see you.
In any sort of activity. I'm fantastic.
Run.
I'm much faster than you think. I'll also tell you, way faster than you think.
I don't think so.
I got wheels.
I would love. We should race.
We got wheel. Oh, you want to race?
I'd love to race.
We should race for charity. You can't touch me on ultimate frisbee field.
We'll race for people with spinal cord injury.
We'll race them, and I might win. I have a shot. I need a handicap.
Oh my God!
I had wheels back in the day. I don't think I do anymore. Because there's just a lot more in the trunk. Anyway,
yes.
I'm going down. So we put the hose on the thing, and I go to jump, and I full blown just get stuck. The thing, boom, and go. So my daughter just grabs the hose, and she's hosing me down like a beached whale to move me down the thing. And I'm doing the bumpity bumps to get down. The whole thing is shaking. Finally, I go down, and I land, and Milana's like, my turn. And she just kills it. Runs through, slides right through. Yeah, it was great.
You need like liquid soap.
I do.
Because what I learned is I got kids as well. I'm not as fun as you are.
Yeah.
But we have like that slip and slide. You can't just put water on.
No, you need to
You
drop
got to
some
put a
Dawn on that.
little bit of soap, and the kids zip, and it's like Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Later, dudes.
Do you
just
see like
spark.
some of the older, like the 20-somethings or 30-somethings? They go to like a ski resort and they do it on the hill. Do you ever see those where they basically just like garbage bags or tarps?
But these kids
and,
are like
nuts.
Supermaning and
that's
slow
and they just go
dives
for like a mile down. That's unbelievable. Oh, I would love to do that. I would pick up some heat. That's when I'd have wheels. This thing, a Gatto in motion stays in motion. This body's gonna keep. This thing's gonna keep going.
You'd be like that scene in Norbit.
Yeah.
When she goes on the thing that dead end.
I did that once, but I don't think I ever told you the story. But I went skiing. I shouldn't.
I would love to see you go skiing.
I don't.
Are you
do
just
it anymore.
snow plowing the whole time?
No, I just tuck and go. I just crashed. Like,
you would tuck and go?
I just tuck and go. I don't know how to do anything on it. I don't do it anymore because I just can't. I couldn't then either. But I'm like, I'm probably about 30 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm going skiing down a hill, and there's a turn. You got to make a turn to go. But it was like one of these bunny hills. It's a little resort. And on the other side, there was the snow tubes that you sit on and goes down, and all the little kids go with all their parents and whatnot. So I'm skiing with my two cousins, younger cousins of mine. They're probably in their late teens. So here we go. Here comes cousin Joey. I'm going. We're having a good time. So I go, and I'm going too fast, and and here's the course is right in front of me, and you have to make a hard right to go down, continue down the ski part. And the only separation is one of those mesh. Orange mesh construction fences that you buy like at Home Depot. So here comes cousin Joey. I can't hit the right. I go, oh. I see it happening. I go, oh, and I go through the woods. I get wrapped up in the thing.
No.
I hit I lose the skis. I start mummying it right down the thing.
You get wrapped up?
And I'm down the hill, sliding next to the people snow tubing, wrapped in orange construction. I'm like, I can't be the first person that did this. I can't turn.
But then you end up at the bottom.
I was at the bottom.
You're at the bottom, and there's no way to avoid. Everybody's looking at you.
Then one guy was with his daughter or whatever, and he's like, I saw you coming. Like, you can't see anything. You just see a Gatto in motion coming through.
Never seen that before.
You ski or no?
When I was in high school, but I always played hockey, so it's the same. Like
similar.
Yeah.
And your kids? Do your kids?
No, my kids are. I always wanted them to get into hockey, and
no.
But now we're in Tennessee. There's no like winter sports
as
much as you would think. But there's pockets where you can go. But we just haven't. And the older I get too, it's just like it's like I don't want to get on a motorcycle because of spinal cord injury, but I also don't want to ski because I don't want to blow my knee out.
Right.
It's like all those things you think about when you're in your early 30s, when you're in mid 30s.
Who's 30s?
My mid.
Do we have the filter on?
Mid-30s.
Do we have?
Can we filter? I'm in my mid 30s.
I'd love to add like a mouse Snapchat filter right now. Just have keep it like ears.
I'm in my mid 30s.
I don't. Everybody thinks that, but everybody thinks I'm older than you.
Really?
I hear that a lot. Everybody thinks you're younger than me.
It's the Korean skin, I think.
No, I think it's the fat Italian that's slowly falling apart in high definition.
See, I think when people go like this or like that, when it's two people, it's like, but yeah, when they go like that, maybe because you got the salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper here.
Yeah.
We in effect. Wanted to push it, babe. Day and night, I work up a sweat. I think like you dye your hair though, right?
I got a little bit on the sides,
but you dye.
This is where I go.
Yeah. This is where you do. What do you do with a comb?
I do a little just for men, right there.
Really?
Just for right there.
With the little just
a little.
All top, you're okay. Because I don't have salt and pepper up here.
It's starting to come in a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
And then up top, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Up top, I'm okay. It's like the sides, but this is like if I don't do anything, this goes gray.
Why don't you just let the sprinkles come, baby?
I guess I could.
Distinguished gentleman.
Yeah, I think at some point I will. When it like, but I don't want to like the Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
Richard Reed,
100%.
Where it's just like white, and then the rest of it is like cool. It's like, well, why doesn't he? So that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I had that for a minute, like when I was like 34, though, like that. I started going like because my like aunts and uncles, and my mom all were like white lions, like So I imagine that's going to eventually happen to me. But I think
at some point I'll do it. I was thinking I saw this one comic, Rojo Perez, great guy, super funny too. But he dyed his hair gray, and it looked really cool.
He dyed it gray.
He dyed it gray, but it was like a comic book hero kind of gray,
not
like a Silver Fox, Steve Martin kind of gray. But he looked cool. I was like, oh, that. I wonder if I could pull that off. I don't think I could pull that off though.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not saying do that.
Yeah, you can be honest with you've always been.
Yeah, I want to see it, and then I'll pass judgment. I'm like, no, I'll come over with the cone.
When you eat with Joe Gatto, okay, you'll take him. Where are you? When you eat with Joe Gatto, take him to your favorite restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna love it. It's great. It's from scratch, farm to table. You brag about this is great. This is Gatto. This is Joe right here. Oh, you gotta try it. Oh yeah, and it's like when somebody's eating something, it's like this is your favorite song. It's like, are you listening to the words though? You're sitting there watching it, and then Joe will take one bite. It's garbage.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. Yeah, disgusting, or it's garbage, something like that. But then if you like it, then you will order everything off the menu, and it's not one dessert. You're the only person I know that gets dessert for an appetizer.
I had a bundt cake the other day that was blow your balls off.
Where were we, in Wisconsin?
Oh yeah.
You ordered the waffle dessert sundae
to start. To start, I'll take that to start because I was excited about it. Yeah. They didn't have many vegetarian options.
No.
So I was like, I'll start with the waffle with ice cream.
Yes.
And then I'll finish with the plant-based burger.
We're eating like our parents left us the credit card.
That's
we're 8.
so
and we're
funny.
like, all right, we're gonna eat like 8th grade style.
That's exactly what it was like. I think Jiggy had chicken tenders. We're like, let's do it.
And that's Jiggy with an N, everybody.
Yeah.
So this is Two Cool Moms.
Two Cool Moms. So we have new people here that don't know.
Catch people up to speed. Okay. They don't know.
No.
They don't know what they're dealing with. They have no clue.
Hey!
Guys, this is Two Cool Moms, baby. We got money, a budget.
Bubbles. Great. I love how loud that is a lawn, like a leaf blower volume.
Yeah.
So Two Cool Moms is a podcast that you and I started.
Yes.
Back in the day. We've done it for over a year now, right? And it basically is, we both had very cool mothers who gave great motherly advice.
Right.
And we like to think that we've inherited that. We are each other's
100%.
confidants. We've helped people, friends in our circles that come to us for sound advice.
Yes.
So we want to do that for the world.
Yeah, we thought we have superpowers bestowed upon us and inherited by these wonderful moms. My mother, Korean.
Alive. Go ahead, say it. You know you were gonna. That was the night. You saw you were going down there. You're like, my mom is great breathing. I saw it. Mine's dead, and
you
it's
can
6
surmise his mother's passed on, and now I have, I guess, survivor's guilt. It's almost like I've stolen valor because my mom's beat cancer. It's like, okay,
your mom beat cancer.
She did beat cancer. My father beat cancer about a year ago.
So you're just riddled with it. You better get your shit checked. You better get all your holes checked.
I gotta get a finger.
I just got a colonoscopy about 2 weeks ago.
Your first?
First one. Yeah.
But why
not bad.
But you told me, I said, how'd it go? You said, I moaned. What does that mean?
Moaned in pleasure.
Yeah. What is that?
Is that what you meant? No. I have a fart pocket.
Come again?
I have a large mouth diverticulitis, and basically what happens is gas gets caught in the large mouth, and part of my intestines just balloons up, bubbles up. Yeah,
sorry, let's make it loud in here. So your doctor told you?
No, I've assessed. I nicknamed it a fart pocket. That's not a medical term.
That's not the medical.
No. Yeah. So that's what made me go in, but everything's fine. Everything checked out.
Wait, hold on. So you had gas issues, and that's why you went.
Well, I was getting this pain. I was getting a pain because what happens is the gas was like cripple. I'm like, what is this pain? You've been on the road with me. Like sometimes when I'm taking stage, and on the road, I'm not as regular as I'd like to be.
You're just crop dusting the stage?
No, yeah, that front row gets every penny. No, the problem is I'm not. Like, I get all the gas builds up.
You're like an awful Shamu show.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be in this splash zone, guys.
Like they blow up the thing? That's my intestines. So I get like this little bubble thing, but he checked it out, gave me some meds, worked it out, so I'm feeling better.
So it's just temporary?
It's just temporary. Well, you just have to manage it.
How do you manage a fart bubble?
You just have to try to fart.
But how do you try to?
No, on the road, I just have to try to like eat a lot of fiber, make sure I keep everything moving.
Oh, you mean not eat a fucking waffle sundae before your meal?
Yeah, I mean that probably could be part of the cause. I mean, probably my diet probably is a contributing factor. I'm not saying guilty as charged, but yes.
One of the most okay. Let's get back to our moms. Though.
Yes,
our
please.
moms. My mom was a blunt force instrument. She's, I think, a stereotypical tiger mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just completely honest with every aspect of life. No matter, I remember I got married. She poked my stomach, and said, what? And she's like, you're getting fat. And I was like, it's my wedding day. Like, I'm getting married today. Like, she would constantly, things like that, just keep you in check. And as much as it may come off as harsh, I think sometimes the best things you can be told are raw honesty. You've always been very honest with me, with things that I shouldn't wear. Don't do that.
Too much going on with your face fats.
Too much going on with my face fats.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
You got me in check with that. So I feel like as much as my mom is still that maternal force and giving me raw honesty and advice or, anything along the way, like everybody she's ever pointed out and said, I don't like him. She always was right.
Is amazing, right?
Always.
They always know.
And especially the girlfriends, she was always 100% correct. The first one I had, she's like, she's no good. She's no good. And she physically beat me up one day. Like we were hammered, but it was like, I was kind of laughing at the same time. But she was like fucking cracking me. Yeah. And then she gave my best friend a fresh one, like a nice freshie.
Oh, wow.
He's like, Denise, what the hell are you doing? She's like, bitch, out, like a straight up bitch slap.
No way.
And we were both, I mean, looking back, I guess it's kind of awful, but like I thought it was funny.
In the moment, you were like, "Yeah, we're just messing around."
Like, Jesus Christ, this girl's crazy. Yeah. But my mom called it, and she was like, "Something's off with her." And then when my wife first met Jess, she's like, "Don't mess this up."
Oh, your mom gave her the stamp of approval.
She knew right away. Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, my mom got to meet Bessie before. She was around for about a year and a half because we were dating long distance. But Bessie looks so young. My mom's great. My mom was the best. She was Sicilian firecracker, shoot you straight, lots of love, loved everybody, made sure everybody was okay. One of those Italian moms, but completely like had that Sicilian streak. Like if you wronged me, there's no need for you in my life. Yeah, you're done. So she had like a little bit of that in her. But my mom, Bessie looks really young. And I had younger cousins. It was New Year's Eve, and my mom came over to my cousin's house where we all had hung out, and she hadn't met Bessie. And so my cousin Mike was there, and he looks older, and Bessie looked younger. It looked like they could be dating, right?
Right.
So before my mom came in, I said, get on Mike's lap, and I put Bessie on Mike's lap. So we walk in, and my mom walks over, we're saying hello, hi, Mom, and she goes over to Bessie. She goes, oh, who's this Butana? Right? She's like, look, she's so pretty. She gets or whatever. And then, Mike just has his arm around her, whatever. And then as we're just sitting there talking, my mom has her coffee. She's like, how's everybody's New Year's? It was New Year's Day. She went out, she went to the bistro and danced all night with her girlfriends, right? She's like, oh, it was crazy. We had a great night. And as I just took Bessie and just put her on my lap and just gave her, a kiss. And my mom goes, and she was talking with a coffee, and I'll never forget this. She goes, what the fuck is this? We all lost it. I said, Mom, this is actually Bessie, my girlfriend. She's from California. And my mom goes, you have a girlfriend? I didn't know about this. And she goes, come here. And she sat her down and she grilled her for for a while, which was that was the first time she met her. And then when Bessie first moved here, my mother hated watermelon, like with a passion. It was like when she was growing up, she just hated the smell of it, whatever. So it's Labor Day weekend. Bessie had just moved here from California. Right. She moved in with me. It's like the second time she's seeing my mother. We're at the big barbecue with my sister Carla, Big Vin, my brother-in-law Vinny, right? So we're all hanging out, and they cut the watermelon. I said to Bessie, I said, oh, Bess, could you give my mom some watermelon, please?
But you knew?
I knew. So I was like, oh, could you bring my mom some watermelon? She goes, oh, yeah. She's like, hey, Mrs. Gatto. My mother turns around, smacks the plate out of her hand, and goes, get the fuck out of here. Bessie turns beet red. We are on the floor. Laughing. My mother's like, did he make you do that? So funny. Yeah, so she was like that. She turned like crazy like that, but she was great. So those are our moms. I see reflections in both of us with them. I think they've done a great job. And we like to help the people who are fans of us, fans of the podcast.
Why not?
We're here to help. So people submit their questions on our Instagram at @2coolmomspod or at our new Gmail account.
That's right. Do you know why we have a new Gmail account? Because we have production value. So yeah.
And that's also free. Two Cool Moms Pod.
You can email us
it's Two Cool Moms Pod at gmail.com.
twocoommomspod@gmail.
And
not
that's how you
podcast,
get questions in.
pod.
No, just pod.
We're kind of hip.
Yeah, you know what? You don't want 4 extra letters. You got things to do.
I dye my hair. I dye it here. I'm younger. I'm cool. Light it up like dynamite, right?
That's it.
Smooth like butter.
All right. So now we get into answering questions.
Yes. Let's get to work. This is what we do best.
This
is why the peoples tune in. This is why the peoples need us.
Thank you for listening, subscribing, of course. We appreciate you guys.
Now, I know you had sent me a few. Did you want me to start in a particular order? Do you want to start from first to... Okay, first to... Okay, here we go. This is coming to us from Mallory.
Okay.
Hey, moms. My boyfriend and I will be moving in together come July after living in different cities for 2 years, so long distance. Do you have any advice on moving in / living with your partner? P.S. I love the pod. That came to us. Now I get it. So this came to us March 21st. March 21st. So March 21st, Mallory writes us that she's moving in with her boyfriend after...
How do I make it work?
Long distance for 2 years, okay? June 9th, we got a text.
It just says, never mind, we broke up.
I am riddled with guilt.
Oh, so sorry. Hey, it wasn't meant to be, though. You're welcome. I think your welcome is in order.
3 months.
3 months. Oh.
3 months. Imagine investing 2 years of your life.
And then the investment in the move, the get together, we're going to do this. It's going to be great. And then boom, skate, done.
Oh my God, that's the worst feeling in the world. 2 years, you live in different cities. You have all that investment of time, of travel, of getting together, or just bandwidth of like.
All right, don't make it feel bad.
Oh, I just feel horrible though. I don't know
if we could have saved it though.
You couldn't save it.
No,
you couldn't save it. It was doomed. But oh my God, that feeling of just like.
Yeah.
Imagine one of them had to know the first, literally within 48 hours.
Right. Did you ever live with a girlfriend?
Yes.
That didn't become your wife?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Scandalous.
You never did that?
No, never.
You never moved in with a girl?
I live with Murray. I didn't live with, that was my roommate. I had me and Murray. We were best friend in a 750 square foot apartment sharing a bathroom.
Oh, 750.
Yeah. He used to be in the shower and I used to go in and poop on him. It was great.
This is a real thing, by the way.
I used to actually poop with the door open. I would talk to him. I was like, could you shut the door? I'm like, no, I get claustrophobic. But Murray and I were actually very good. We were very good roommates. I don't think many people could have done what me and Murr pulled off, actually, because Murr and I lived, worked together. We had just started the show. We were with together each other 20 hours a day.
Really?
Like, don't tell me to see each other when we were sleeping. We were working at the same place, and we still remained friends, which was crazy because that's a lot to handle with somebody. And I'm a lot, and he's a lot. But like we're little different energies too. Like I'm pretty intense, you know.
Yeah.
So, but it was it worked out. That was the only thing. I've always had roommates though.
You're both very opinionated.
Yeah. For sure.
You both have strong opinions.
Yeah.
So,
but I will say Murray has always been very open to my opinion and taking my advice. A lot. Like I've always been a consigliere for him in a real way of like, you know, things like he had identified that he wanted to change or needed help with and things like that. Like we were like brothers that way.
Right.
Like still are. But he was like very much like, what do I do here? Or how do I do this? Not even just like dating with girls, because he dated way longer than I did before he had settled down with his lady. But I think it just worked because he was open with that. Like he would listen to me more than he would listen to anybody else, I think. You know what I mean?
Well, that probably goes to the fact that, look, he's a really, really smart guy.
Smart, super smart.
Incredibly smart.
Yeah.
And it goes a long way to think that he'd be open to listening to other people's opinion. Because you have some people that are just incredibly intelligent, but they don't want to hear.
But we were also older, too. Like, we're roommates at like 32. Like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you're set in your ways.
That's kind of the norm now, though.
Now it is, yeah.
Now it is. But back when we were younger, when you didn't have to dye your sideburns.
Yeah. I never lived alone until recently. That was the first time I ever lived alone. I always had roommates, or I was living in my mom's basement. Yeah. That's what I was doing. Yeah.
But imagine moving with somebody. And
so how did yours end? Was yours terrible? That didn't work out?
Yeah.
It was?
No. I mean, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
I
mean the moment. The
moment was bad. Yeah.
That's hard.
The moment was bad.
How long were you living together?
About a year.
Okay.
About a year.
Made it longer than this one. Sorry, Mallory. Hashtag left on red.
Mallory, you are proof positive that we need to we took some time off.
Can't do it. We have to be here for the people.
We can't do this,
That's
Joe.
it. And now, now I have responsibility not to only the America. I have responsibility to you, to iHeartRadio, to everyone, and to everybody.
Yes.
Bubble machines across America.
Yeah. We got to keep these people together.
We'll do it.
We got to keep love in the air.
All right, let's go. Let's keep solving these problems.
Second.
But also, congratulations on being on your own and finding the right one, because that's what's going to happen, Mallory.
Okay, this is coming to us from Frankie.
Okay.
Something about a crowd work show. My question for you both is, if I should break the ice with my brother, with my brother Jonathan. Oh, some background. He's 15 years older than me, and my half-brother. We're sharing the same mom. Despite the age gap, we used to talk frequently. My dad, his stepdad, died on June 2nd of pancreatic cancer.
Oh, okay.
His birthday was on July 2nd. And on that day, my mom decided to have a celebration of his life, inviting only family and 2 close friends who helped out a lot while he was sick. Without telling anyone, Jonathan invited some of his friends and their children.
Go to the next one.
My mom found out. Okay, this is a long one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My mom found out when they were only 20 minutes away, despite the drive for them being 4 hours. She felt there was little she could say about it, and at the point, we hardly celebrated my dad because of this. Jonathan and his wife stayed inside with their friends while my husband and I stayed outside with my mom. It breaks my heart because she has been crying, but eventually wiped her tears away and went inside to be a good host. I later found out after they left, Jonathan called our mom saying I needed to apologize to his wife for being rude to her and their friends. My mom thinks he's in the wrong, but told him she's staying out of it. She told me what he said because now, if he hears me in the background while I'm on the phone with her, he hangs up. I'm at a loss on how someone could do this. Any thoughts or advice is appreciated. Wow, this is pretty detailed.
That's pretty deep. So it's coming. The problem is coming out of a huge traumatic moment that everyone is caught up in their emotions on. So whenever that's the seed that gets planted, I feel like that tree is a strong tree to cut down, because you're coming from a moment of like, that's a very upsetting time in your life, and it feels like you were stolen your way you could grieve or handle a situation, and you can't get that back.
Right.
So the first thing I think you need to do is work around that. You have to realize that moment of time is gone. And now let's not base it on that. Let's base it on the fact that you guys aren't in each other's lives, and you clearly want to be, right? Because you're reaching out to ask about it.
Right, of course, yeah.
So I'm a firm believer, if you want somebody in your life, you have to go get it. And because one of two things is happening. The other person doesn't know how important they are to you, that you want them in your life.
Right.
Or you're letting something like this just stand in the way, which ultimately, as bad as it may sound, doesn't matter that your dad, or dad or stepdad died. What matters is who's here left with you, right?
Right.
So the bigger regret will be if, God forbid, something happens to this other person in your life and you didn't do everything you could. That regret will be even bigger and insurmountable, right?
Yeah, the commonality is obviously the father.
Yep.
Is passing. Now, look, yes, that day was set aside to acknowledge and admire and appreciate the time you got to spend with, but you can still kind of do that again. You could replicate that, right? You could get it back on track, and everybody across the board do it. I think what happened is you felt slighted, or the mom felt slighted, and I think sometimes when these things happen, you don't know what's going on the other side of the fence, right? You're only receiving information from your mom, and you don't know why somebody would communicate 15 minutes out the situation. So it's like, obviously she hasn't gotten in touch with him. She hasn't given him an opportunity to say his peace of mind.
Yeah.
So I think obviously it's of blood. And if it's up to you to make that first initial, olive branch, why not?
Yeah.
Why not do it? It's like you don't lose anything by doing that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, though, about if he's hanging up the phone when he hears her voice in the background, it might be a little either fresh for him or he doesn't know how to handle it. I would not try to put your mom in the middle of it.
Yeah.
That's
just get to it.
Just get
You're
to it.
both
Like,
adults.
you know where he lives. Like, ring the bell. There's no, is he going to let you in? And then you have your answer.
Just say, hey, let's figure this out.
Yeah,
this is ridiculous.
And if he doesn't want to figure it out, then okay, you go on with your life.
That's on him.
Yeah,
exactly,
that's on him. You did what you could, and you can't.
But that reminds me of when like a guy's like cheating.
Yep.
And it's like, hey, let's go out here. What the fuck you talking about? Why we gotta go there? It's like, what are you pissed off about her? You're the one dipping on her. It's always like, get off my fucking phone. It's like that.
Yeah.
So, when you hear something like that, it's like when I think of that, I think of somebody that doesn't want to confront the situation of hanging up. It's like, well, that's not going to solve it. You messed up, dude.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a reason that he messed up,
right?
Or maybe there's like a gap to be bridged when you guys communicate about just sussing it out and figure it out. Because I always think it's like, to your point, you never know when anything can happen.
100%.
You never know.
Yeah.
So I always try to err on the side of caution, like even with close friends, great friends, whatever, family especially. Anytime I do something wrong and I shut the door and I'm by myself, I'm like, you got to do it.
Yeah.
I just instantly go back. I don't care if you don't want to talk to me. I'm sorry.
Right.
I apologize.
Right.
And just so it's out there.
Yeah. Sometimes to get people to talk, you have to corner them and confront them.
Yeah.
Some people just don't want to communicate, and then once they have no choice, they realize it's like, okay, we have to talk about this.
Yeah.
So maybe it goes that way for you. I hope it does. I hope it pans out. But I would say you need to take the steps here to talk to that person.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it's amazing how communication is the key for so many things. But I think you may feel justified in the fact that you don't want to.
Yeah.
Why should I? It's like, okay, well, then just the resentment's going to continue.
Yeah.
And nothing's going to get
Why
solved.
should I? Because you're the one thinking about it.
There you go.
So that's why.
God, Joe,
I'm telling you.
You just get it, man.
You just get it, man. Getting it.
Get it. You're getting it, dude. All right. This is coming to us from Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Mommies. Zap, big fan of you both.
Zap?
His name's Michael. Maybe it's
maybe he says I'm Zap.
Nickname?
His nickname is Zap. I love that nickname.
Pretty cool.
Let's call him Zap.
All right, Zap. I need some advice. My wife and I, as well as my wife's sister and brother-in-law, we are all contemplating homeschooling for our children. My son, 4 years old, and my nephew will be 4 in October. We've been weighing the pros and cons and want your take on it. These are very social kids. When they go to the park or zoo, they play and make friends with kids, no problem. Thoughts on that aspect is team sports outside of homeschooling to hone their social skills. Thanks, Mommies, for your advice.
His name's Zap and he wants to be their teacher. Did they call him Mr. Zap?
Yeah, I've had a few friends contemplate that, but I think that's a hell of a commitment.
This new thing people are doing is private schooling at home.
Yeah.
So they hire a teacher that has quit and they come into the house and they teach their kids. So
Really?
It's not the parents teaching. They get these.
So this
these
is
people
how this is typical. We
on
go
the
from
streets.
homeschooling to
Can somebody else do this?
Yeah. Unbelievable.
I've heard that a couple people have done that kind of thing where they had gotten a commune together of like people in their neighborhood that wanted. It was similar to this.
Right.
I feel like it always happens when there's a gathering of people that are like, "Hey, we need to go."
Right. Yeah.
But I really think honestly, it is just a product of where you are. My school district's great. I think the teachers are phenomenal. The principal of my kid's school's unbelievable. I think it's a really good, community, and I like having them be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, if you are somewhere where it's terrible, the schools aren't safe, or the schools are, you don't feel like you're getting what you need, that you're paying for with your tax dollars, then you might want to be thinking about it. So I don't think there's a right or wrong answer here. I just would say it's an enormous commitment.
An enormous commitment.
Enormous commitment.
And my wife's a teacher, right? She was a teacher. And when pandemic hit and we had to homeschool kids in California, I was like, oh, thank God. Because she's a teacher, right?
Yeah.
But what I saw, because here's the thing. Are you smarter than a fifth grader? I am not. No, I couldn't do any of that stuff. Even my daughter's doing fractions now. I'm like, no clue.
Yeah.
I haven't done any of that since I left. But it took her a second to catch up. She's like, I'm being a mom and not a teacher. And so there was also that discernment that anybody that does that has got to know you're not a parent when you do it. Although you're their teacher. Yeah. And so it took her like 48 hours to flip the switch, and she got it recalibrated. It was off to the races. But again, like to your point, it's a ton of bandwidth.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time, and I think you're 100% right. It depends on your location. If you have a great public school or a great school, why would you?
Yeah, I feel like if they're thinking about it, they don't, right? If they're asking, thinking about it.
For what reason?
Yeah, so if you're looking to get the kids out of a certain element that you don't feel like your options are to move,
yeah,
or homeschool. But they're doing it with a bunch of people, so maybe everybody's going to take Everybody takes a subject, figure it out.
Give me recess.
Yeah,
yeah.
I got PE.
lunch.
Yeah, I'll do lunch and PE.
But your kids are not going to turn out like Tim Tebow. That's an anomaly.
Yeah,
That's like
for sure.
And
Tim Tebow is
he's an Academy Award winning.
He's
a football player.
He's a sport.
You don't know Tim Tebow?
I know the name.
Yeah.
He plays.
You don't know who Tim Tebow?
No, he plays football. I don't know sports. You know this.
I know you don't know sports.
I know Tim Tebow. He's a quarterback.
He's a quarterback.
Okay, and he played for the New York Jets. Florida Panthers. Florida. He was in Florida Miami Dolphins. No, not the Florida Jaguars.
Stop. But he did play for the Jacksonville Jaguars for a
That's
sec, and he went to the Denver Broncos.
That's where I know him from.
But University of Florida Gators is why everybody knows him.
Get home with Gatorade.
That's right.
I don't know that. I know drinks. I know beverages.
You do know beverages. Okay. All right. So I don't know. Homeschool. It's just like, oh God,
it's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. During our pandemic, my kids were young. It was preschool and whatever. So it was easy.
If you were forced to, like, let's say schools were like another pandemic kind of situation, it's like, okay, your kid, every American is responsible for homeschooling their kids from now.
Heartbeat.
My kid, I'm like, you just get a job at Meineke right now. Just go to McDonald's because we're not.
I do the homeworks.
You did it?
I do.
I
even now I do 3 o'clock. Me and my daughter sit down. We do our homework together. It's like a little date. I have my coffee. She does her homework. Yeah, it's great. I do. I enjoy it. It reminds me of my mom. My mom used to help me with my homework, and we used to sit down and go. But there was a point when I got smart, and I remember when I got smarter than my mother.
Really?
And I'm pretty school as far as school went. I was good, and I remember there was a point where like I was correcting her, and then she was like, "All right, so if you know everything, do it yourself." And I just did it myself.
That was it.
And that was it. It just went from there. I used to make tests up for my dad. That's how much of a geek I was. Yeah, my dad would have to come.
But
you
were a mathlete.
I was a mathlete. Yeah, but I was good at school. As far as school went, I was pretty well-rounded school subject-wise. Except I didn't like to read like fiction, so I wasn't really great at English. Like when you had to like read works of Shakespeare and stuff. I didn't really connect with.
But you are a nerd with social skills. I think that's how I would describe you. You're incredibly like.
Oh, look at that. That's a nice. I think. Thank you.
No, you're like a cool, you know what I mean? Like
cool
you're
nerd.
Not the typical like wallflower that's going to sit at the lunch table by himself and bring a briefcase and be awkward. Like you had all the attributes of being hyper intelligent, but you also like
I'm like an extrovert.
You could goof.
The extrovert balanced me out, but I wasn't in the beginning.
Yeah.
But so I remember like my dad used to come home he was selling insurance 10 hours a day, trying to put food on the table. Would come home and here come Joey with his loose leaf paper that I wrote up a test for him to take. And he would answer a 10-question, like fill in the blank, multiple choice question. I would do that for like every day when he would come home, and he would do it. And he would just do it. Yeah. And then I remember there was sometimes he was like, I don't know. What
How old were you when you doing this?
12, 13, around there. Young teenage.
See, if my kid did that, I'd be like, I have a quiz for you. You ready? I have a quiz for you. If I do this, will you never, ever, ever, ever ask me to do another quiz again?
Ever?
Yeah. Is that a good quiz? Yeah. No, Daddy, I won't. Okay. Goodbye.
That's it.
Like I'd crunkle it up. I couldn't. Like
you don't think so?
Homework.
You're a patient dad, though.
I love my kids.
Homework. You hate homework more than you love your kids.
Like my mom, I would help her with her homework during my homework. Because she was always taking English classes, like phonics and all that stuff.
Nice
Very insecure about her.
That's why you have such a good vocabulary.
Well, my father's also like I think the Irish, like the old school Irish, just had a deep appreciation for literature and
they just read dictionaries.
Just read everything. Yeah, he's got a deep vocabulary.
You do. You're pretty stacked in that area.
Here we go. This coming to us from Laura. Hey, Joe and Steve, I love your podcast and always tell people about how funny you both are and that they need to listen. This has been very painful for me, so I'm going to cut to the chase. I just found out that my boyfriend of almost 3 years has been cheating on me. I'm beyond distraught because this was the person I was setting up to be with for the rest of my life.
Ooh.
It doesn't just feel like I lost my boyfriend, but it also feels like I lost my future. Everything I've been planning is ruined, and I feel like I have to start from scratch. Have you guys ever been cheated on, and if so, how did you deal with it? P.S. Steve, I hate the way you say via. It's wrong. She wants me to say via.
Yeah.
Via. Okay.
You get there via the expressway. We just talked about your vocabulary too.
We're done with the semantics of vocabulary. But obviously, Laura, we feel your pain.
Yes, for sure.
There's a whole industry that has made billions of dollars off of this. It's called sad songs. Every musical artist has dealt with this. There's a sad song that is out there that will get you through this. Yes. That was always the thing for me. The Cranberries in college was an album. Everyone else is doing it, so why can't I? Because Denise Sapienza cheated on me in front of me in a fraternity house, and I confronted her, and I walked in the house, and they all chucked me out. It was like a classic movie where I got chucked out in the rain, looking up, and she's in a window with a dude, and the dude's laughing at me. Like, you couldn't have scripted any worse. And so the Cranberries, so that was the album.
You had
literally
a full
that got
album.
me through it.
Oh my goodness!
But you think about all the breakup songs in the world. There's somebody out there. Everybody's dealt with. We've all dealt with it. Yeah. You're gonna get over it too.
Yeah,
you will.
For sure. And then you can't plan your future. That's why they call it the future, right?
That's
so
right.
This has happened. You're going to go on a different. You're going to go on a different route now.
Yeah.
So you'll be okay.
This is when you go hog wild. Go to the gym, get fit.
That's it.
Take a victory lap, get bombed, bang some strange, have some fun, go to Jamaica, cross some things off your bucket list you don't talk about.
Get some stuff.
Have some fun. Yeah.
I think the biggest part is like you can't dwell on the wasted time because you didn't waste more time than you would have if you found out later, right? So if you stuck with him for 15 years, then he cheated on you.
Oh my God.
You would have wasted 15 years. You wasted 3. But you saved 12. It's a way to look at it, right? You saved 12 years.
That's a great way to do it.
So you're welcome. You're welcome. You've got 12 years of your life back, right? You've gotten this now at whatever age you are. It's better to be single than later in life when you don't know what you're dealing with down the road. So it's hard, though, for sure, because especially when you're building this in your mind, this is my one and whatnot, and they end up not being that. It's hard. I would just say don't carry that forward. Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. Don't carry that forward because not every person is created equal. Not everybody has the same, values or love for you. So I would say that person is that person. Don't bring that baggage with you to the next encounter because it'll just weigh you down.
Yeah. But I also think it's look, I mean, how many, I mean, I don't want to be like a pig or something, but you think about like all the people you dated.
Right.
Like all of them. And it's like, there's always the one, the one, right? It's like, yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to find that individual. It's hard to find that individual that you gel with. And even when you get married, that person's going to be a different person 5 or 10 years from the
100%.
date you get married. And so, one of the things I tell my wife constantly, I'm like, you married.
I'm sorry.
Can we change the prenup? But I tell her constantly, I'm like, I'm so grateful that the person I married and the person you married are 2 completely different people. At the core, it's still like, the same, but there's just differences. There's maturity that comes into play. And she is a better person than the person I married. Like I got an improvement, like an upgrade.
You got a wine.
Yeah,
Fine wine.
It's like she's been unbelievable. And so I
don't disagree because I met her about 5 years ago. Atrocious. And now she's fantastic.
With surgery and just a water diet. But I think sometimes that goes the other way.
Yeah.
That goes the other way for quite a few individuals I've been a sounding board for. I got a bartender's ear sometimes. You got to listen to your friends. And I've heard like horror stories and people outgrow each other sometimes. There's just a million different facets and variables that can happen in any relationship. So just know that whatever it is you're going through, Laura, like everybody's gone through it and you're going to be better for it. I guarantee you, because it also like chisels and formulates like what you will accept or not accept in the future in terms of like, this works for me,
right?
And this doesn't, because I learned from that last relationship that it's something I won't tolerate.
100%. I think we're both saying the same thing, and also, but it's not lost on us that right now you are hurting and everything sucks and the world's terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, like we're just giving some sort of outside perspective, but I also know that when you're inside the shitstorm and that you're inside the tornado and you see everything going on, it's rough. So hang in there. The clouds will part, and you will be okay.
You know what the best film for guys at least is? Swingers.
For sure.
Swingers is a great film, and it's all about a guy that broke up with a girl. And everybody can relate to this because there's bouts of moments where you think, I'm over her, I'm cool, but you're not.
Yeah.
And you're forcing yourself to be over her.
Yeah.
And all your friends are saying, get over her. And it just like, it's not clicking. And then just one day.
It just clicks.
One day something happens. And you're like, I'm over her. This is great.
So I hope that day comes soon for you. I hope it clicks soon, and we love you.
Well, I don't know you, Laura. I got to see what you look like before I commit to love. Hold on, let me take a look at the profile pic.
Yeah. Okay, love you.
Yeah, I love you.
Thank you for listening to Two Cool Moms. This has been fantastic. We are back. Bubble Machine it out. Thank you, iHeart, for having us part of the family.
Thank you guys so much. Remember, email us at
twocoolmomspod@gmail.com or go to find us on Instagram, Two Cool Moms Pod. That's it. Bang.
Bang. We
Bubbles.
did it. These mommies love you, so show us some love.
Please rate us and review us. Follow us on all social media and subscribe to our YouTube.